Hello everyone, welcome to another video that I'd like to do when there are major planetary alignments. Today is the new moon, and in a couple more days we have spring/autumn equinox depending on where you are. So I like to show you exactly what we're looking at. The important thing to remember about what I'm going to show you is that it's a deeper look behind the natal chart into various planetary aspects that we wouldn't normally see, other than I'm using vibrational astrology, which gives finer attunements and divisions of the chart, so that it's like putting a microscope on the chart to see what other planets are playing underneath the surface. And each vibration has been researched by some research scientists and astrologers through extreme case sampling to get the meanings. So the way I read this is I get to the core energy function and I read it according to the vibration that it's in, and I also pull in a few midpoints to see what other planets are between. So everything's emitting a vibration and a resonance, and it's affecting the energy fields that we're all part of. It's like a radio station that's on and we're tuned into it. If you know what those energies are, you can work with it, be aware of it, and allow it to play out its force to create the changes that we all need to have happen. So I'll share my screen now so that we can see the two charts. So here we have the new moon chart, and that happened today at 11:23 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which I like to work on. Now, what we have here is, you can see the new moon, and that is in Pisces at 28 degrees and 27 minutes. I like to show you this so you can see it for yourself. So that's at 28 degrees and 27 minutes when the moon is conjunct the sun. And it's going to be traveling over Neptune and Saturn and all of these planets as time goes along. So because we are at the end of the sign of Pisces, this is about learning those Pisces lessons. And the Pisces orientation to life is quite eclectic, inclusive, and it doesn't really have borders. It can embrace and make sense of lots of different points of view, different life experiences. We're more or less in a big soup of all of us, all of our collective thoughts, unconscious, and it can be confusing, to be honest. It's often associated with some level of confusion at times, but it's also very compassionate and can see the connection one to the other. Now, the planet Neptune is important when we look at any Pisces energy. And Neptune it's kind of interesting because Neptune is in Aries, and then the Aries ruler Mars is in Pisces. So we have kind of a swings and roundabouts with Pisces Aries energy, which are very, very different energies. And the Aries energy wants to go forth unencumbered, unimpeded, and it's the most likely of all fields of energy to walk alone, because, you know, the signs are an orientation to life. They don't necessarily describe the personality. It's the lens we see and experience life through. So we're going to be leaving this Pisces energy, but we still have it there, right? We have it there with this end degree. So are we learning compassion, connection, that we're all connected in some way in this big, vast ocean we call life? So this is the lesson we are all needing to embrace. And the vibration that is strongest at the moment, which gives us more clarity to the meaning of this new moon and what we're to face, is the 9 vibration. So what I've done is the 9 vibration, imagine this whole circle is like a pie, and we divide it up into 9 pieces. So when you do that, it actually is like putting the chart under a microscope to see what are the inner workings are here, right? So we have this divided into 9 pieces of pie to see what the planets are doing. So I've done that, and it's a very, very significant vibration actually, and it is very similar to the Pisces energy, which is learning how to love, learning our connection, being more inclusive. And let's have a look at it. So number 9, this is the close-up. You can see and feel straight away how powerful the alignments are and what's going on. Actually, before I say anything more about that, I just want to note that we have this Jupiter alignment to Mars as well, which just makes everything bigger. And as soon as you look at this chart, you go, wow, I can see that the energy is flowing really strongly between these planets. And Jupiter is involved. So we've got some big things happening on the planet at the moment. And when you have Pluto, it adds intensity, simply adds intensity, makes things go large. And we have a trine to the sun and moon. So that's very important information to bring forward. What are the alignments? And Mercury and Uranus. And we have, at a rate of knots, like this increases the rate of how this energy is flowing. Excuse me. And Mercury and Uranus together is fast information, and everything's just expanded beyond belief. And with Pisces energy, it's just a matter of just going with it and trying to make sense out of it. So, and then of course back to I always keep a handle on the chart. So when we look at the chart, the Neptune energy, as you know, is in Aries, and that's this one here. Neptune is in Aries, and we had that conjunction that hasn't happened for 6,000 years. So they're still sitting together, which means that these planets are going to travel over it. And what's happening is that we've got some very powerful alignments between Neptune, the moon, and Pluto in the 9 vibrations. So this is about our humanity. This is about inclusivity, allowing different cultures, allowing different expressions of life to just be part of everything that happens. So I'll give you a look at what's happening with Neptune in the 9 vibration. is that it's where is it? Neptune's here. And it is right between Saturn, the sun, and the moon. So the midpoint is really, really close. I think that's the strongest, most significant thing about the 9 vibration. It's like getting real Saturn. Saturn also asks us to make a decision. And Saturn is also between Mars and Pluto over here. So this is why we've got so much intensity. So that's Saturn is doing a number, right? And Saturn says, get to the core, get real. And then we've got all the planets going over Saturn as well. The sun and the moon traveling over Saturn and Neptune. When you combine Saturn and Neptune, you're basically saying, let's get an alignment to an authentic vision that is true. Get out of this illusion that we've been in and this hopeful wishing to say, look, sometimes we have to clear the path, right? Sometimes we have to clear the path, Mars, Pluto, and look, Chiron's on there too. So Chiron's about healing, and that's sort of sitting with Pluto. And, sometimes we have to blast the path clear. Let's say we're going down a mountain and there's been a landslide and the road is blocked. You're not just going to pray for the road to clear. You've got to put that little bit of force into it, maybe even some explosive to clear the road, to clear the BS, to clear the stuff that's in the way. And then we can have a clear expression of a higher vision and move forward along the path, which is exactly what Mars energy wants to do. So going back to, like all of the 9 vibrations, when you multiply them out, pretty much show something similar. And the 18's a really strong one as well, which is you multiply 9 by 2 and it starts to include others. And the energy's trying to flow. We're trying to clear the path. We're trying to move on. And you can see that Neptune is right there in between. In vibrational astrology, you have a 16-degree orb. So we've got, all these planets are conjunct, and the Sun, Uranus are here. And you can just see that we're trying to clear the energy. Chiron bridges Saturn and Uranus, and it's about moving through the things that are blocking us to then heal. And this is no small time. So this is the new moon. We've got, when you think about Neptune, you just say, well, okay, some things are going to dissolve, some things are going to pass away that are no longer real, because Saturn says, you know what, we're just going to be doing real now. And the things that last beyond time, we're getting out of the illusion in this late degree of 28 for this new moon. Now, I also want to show you quickly the, 9 vibration is our humanity. New moon, we'll go back to the chart of the equinox. So the equinox is that point where Aries at 0 degrees comes in, and here it is, and it's conjunct, well, we're going to say it's conjunct Neptune and Saturn. We do have more of the same. The 9 vibration is strong again in this one as well. So we're evolving by dissolving what was once, something that we relied upon, and we're moving out of it. So the 81 in the equinox, I think, which is 9 times 9. Let's have a look. 9 times 9, I did look at that. So, but looking at the chart itself, Mars is the ruling planet, and Mars is at 14 degrees with a strong trine to Jupiter. So Mars is our will to act. It is our will to act. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Something's happened. Here it is. Okay, Mars is our will to act, and it's a very strong trine to Jupiter. This is something we do notice. Everything's big. Every action is big, and there's a higher inspiration with these water signs. And connect to your humanity, to a higher purpose in this. Jupiter wants to see a bigger vision, and Mars in Pisces would like to have a connection to, or take action on a more humanitarian, compassionate basis. So here we have Neptune on the Sun. That's our clear and present reality, and we are moving that roadblock. So when I look, so that the equinox is a beginning point. It's a very powerful, it's where the zodiac begins, and it's something like a new moon, but it's for the year. So it gives us a really strong flavor of what's transpiring, what are we starting, what's moving us forward for the next cycle, and what are we wanting to put into action. Aries energy, look at all the planets. We have literally everything in Aries, just about, like 6 planets in Aries: the Sun, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, the moon, and Chiron all in Aries. Now, what's the Aries orientation to life? The Aries orientation to life is to go forward unimpeded. And there is a strong drive to take compassionate, large, caring action and to heal. In that vibration, which is strongest, we have that stands out the most for me is again the 9, but the 9 on steroids is the 81, 9 times 9. So this is a multiplication of the chart by 81 times, and we can see here that we have the sun and the moon, Pluto, and Chiron. There is a lot of healing to be done and a lot of depth to go into in terms of what patterns have created where we are today. And I say that because the 19 vibration is also strong. And these are at a midpoint to Uranus. So this adds a lot of eruption to the moon and Pluto. There will be changes. There will be changes that are unsettling and uncomfortable in this next cycle with Uranus opposing. And the other one that's very strong is the 19. So I'll quickly show you that, because what 19 says, oh, I've got some things that have happened in the past that I have to pay attention to that have created what's happening today, so I don't make the same mistakes again. And what we have here is all of those planets together. So Pluto, Neptune, the moon, and Uranus. The moon is not comfortable. It's at 29 degrees, 59 minutes, N degrees. It says I have to make some changes, and if I don't, they will be forced upon me. We've got all the big boys. Pluto, which makes changes in a very intense way, and it digs up the buried treasure, the things that you haven't wanted to look at, maybe some dark stuff. We can see that happening in humanity with information that's being leaked out. And we've got Neptune, which dissolves away the things that no longer stick. And Uranus says, you know, there's no way out of this, basically. The change will be fast, eruptive, and unexpected. And we also have, maybe we're going to find, you know, obviously some of the stuff that's happening now is uncomfortable. And the sun says, pay attention, and Mars says, this is the action that we're going to take no matter what. We have to improve our conditions. We have to clear that roadblock so that we can move on unimpeded with this Aries energy. And along the way, I mean, with the 81 vibration, the 9, it's about our humanity. It's about caring for everyone. We're going to be very aware when there's just an uncaring or dark energy present, and it will be exposed. So that's really what's behind a lot of this that you may not have seen without this deep dive into the planetary alignments beneath the natal chart. So that said, I hope that helps you get a little bit of clarity. And, you know, let's support each other. This is a 9 vibration. We're all in this together. And, you know, because things may be changing for you, if you're feeling this disruption and you want a little bit of support, it is smart to reach out and ask someone that you can trust, or you're more than welcome to reach out to me. Thank you.